No. All right, I'm getting my stand set up, so I'm on my phone this time. I said, Lord have mercy. I guess I'm on the purple scene. I guess I don't even know. But I'm on here still. I'm gonna give it a minute and give you a chance to get back in here if you can. I'm doing my phone instead, so if I do have to get up, I can just yeah, I can just hop off if I need to. Yeah, there we go. So let me know when you come back in. I'm back on. You see, trying to do this because I can't really do good on my live at my grandkids' school because the service over there is terrible. It is terrible over there. But I'm on here now. I'm trying to use a poster as yeah. Devil is busy. The devil is busy. So I guess I can tag you in here. I don't know. WSFN 5 Stephanie. If I can spell your name right, sis. That's why I don't like really being on my phone because it's so small. LNN. See. All right, I'm back. So again, again, I am back. Thank you all for coming to my channel. Stay tuned for this. I'm gonna, it must be God. You really need me to get this out because everything keeps happening. But I've been studying the book of Jabez. And again, shout out to my sis, Sonika Renee in Ohio, aka Hoops and Hipster Poetry. Me and her been kind of doing this together. Not together because it was too far, but in different schedules, but we're kind of simultaneously studying it, doing this Bible study. And I am in the section of Born from More. So I will go ahead and get started. I know it's probably going to take people a minute to get in here. Okay, Stephanie, is that you? I see you one. Hopefully that's you, but whoever it is, if it's even if it's not Stephanie, thank you so much for coming on with me. God bless you. And we're reading in the book of this is the prayer of Jabez Bible study. I've been studying it for a little while now. So so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, I have 6 people on there. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you say hello in the comments. But again, Bible study, the prayer of Jabez, and I'm on the section where it says, "Oh, this is for week 2. Oh, that you would enlarge my territory. Expect great things from God. Attempt great things for God." By William Carey. That's on the first page. And go back to watch the first video to see how I came about this and everything. So it'll be here. And I don't know, nothing else to interrupt me because for some reason, everything keeps interrupting me, so we're not even going to give it a name. But it says, born for more. If your circumstances often seem ordinary and your horizons small, you're going to love the next part of the Jabez prayer. For his second request, Jabez pleaded for more territory with more influence and more responsibility, and Jabez could make a greater mark for the God of Israel. But he was stuck on a tiny patch of opportunity, so he asked for more. As you enjoy more and more of God's blessings in your life, your heart will overflow, touching more and more people for him. Most people live their lives in a passive, reactive mode. Jabez lived in a healthy, proactive mode. Okay? And so Jabez stepped forward and boldly asked God to enlarge his borders and extend his influence. Do you believe that God wants you to have more and do more for him? I do, but asking for a larger life goes far beyond the size of your property, as you're about to find out. So tune in and welcome to my channel. My name is Deborah J with Jabez Thoughts, and we're doing the Bible study in week 2 for the prayer of Jabez by Bruce Wilkinson. It says, number 1 says, "Am I a boundary buster?" Many Christians aren't sure that they are called to be a strategic part of what God is doing in the world. In quiet moments of introspection, they wonder if maybe they were born bench warmers instead of boundary busters. A few know that God has called them to much more. If bench warmers became convinced that they were boundary busters, how would it change your lives? Now, and I spoke about how I did my inventory. This is my territory inventory. Number two, it says take a fresh look at your behavior and are you ready to step up for a larger life for God? Score yourself using this standard. One, no, not yet. Two, rarely, if ever. Three, sometimes. Four, quite often. And five, yes, regularly. And these are the questions, and then I'll show you my answers were. One is the first question is I feel restless to take on greater challenges for God. The second question is I ask God to enlarge the size and scope of my personal influence for Him. The third question is I watch out for potential areas where I might minister to others. I overcome my initial fears when faced with a new ministry opportunity. And the fifth question is I am ready to make, or statement, I am ready to make significant personal sacrifices in order to touch this world for God. And this is your scores. And the scores that the choices for the scores. If you score between 21 and 25, it says you're eager to take new territory for God. If you score between 16 and 20, it says you're checking out some travel brochures. If you're 11 through 15, you're not opposed to walk around the block. And if you got between 5 and 10, you need to get out more. And I need to drink a sip of my water. Hold on just a second. My mouth's getting kind of dry. And see several of you on. Make sure you say hey in the comments. Let me know you're here. All right, so my answers, I got them over here on my little notebook. I'm gonna probably can show you better on my phone anyway, but you see my notebook. And my answer is 24. You see that? My answer was 24. So for the first question, I feel restless to take on greater challenges for God. I put 4, which is quite often. For the second question, which is I ask God to enlarge the size and scope of my personal influence for Him, I put 5, which again is yes, regularly. Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Story Chart. Thanks for coming in. We're just going over the book of Jabez on the section Born for More. Question 3, I got 5, which is I watch out for potential areas where I might minister to others. The question number 4, I got a 5. It says I overcome my initial fears when faced with a new ministry opportunity. And in the fifth question, I got a 5. I am ready to make significant personal sacrifices in order to touch this world for God. And like I said, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I hope you're doing all right as well. And my score was 24, which I just showed it on the. Yeah, everybody is trying to keep me off of this live. Ain't nobody been calling me or nothing. So my score was 24. And as you're eager to take on new territory for God, that's what 24 through, you can see it, 24 through 25 is you're eager to take on new territory for God. The talking points is um how could a person who is already feeling busy or overwhelmed enlarge his or her life for God? By doing it. And that's what I had just mentioned on the first live. I get overwhelmed sometimes. I feel like sometimes I'm doing so much. I'm so busy, and I get overwhelmed sometimes. But that don't mean I'm supposed to stop doing what I'm doing for God, like the Author Expo. God laid it on my heart to do that, so I'm doing it. And it gets a little overwhelming, but it's a joyful endeavor as well. So, but I pray for God to give me strength, and He sends resources to help. But all the while He's still enlarging my territory to, for His glory, though. And it says, does pursuing more influence or significance always mean doing more? No, it doesn't. Because speaking of that, I actually cut down on some things that I was doing and participating in. That God said no, that's you need to be focusing on this, not that. So I cut back on some things. I won't, say what the groups or things or whatever, because there's nothing wrong with them. It just God needed to move me in a direction where He needed me to be, so that I can do the things that He has called me to do. So I don't take that lightly. But that was my Bible study for today. Was the prayer of Jabez. So if you feel so inclined to study with me, get your copy and let me know in the comments. Or if you already have the copy, let me know in the comments if you already have that copy. And yeah, you hear my dog out there barking. Let's see. I will. Yeah. That's just, yeah. Again, like I said, this was week 2. Am I a boundary buster? So this was week 2, number section 1. And I will start on section 2 later. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop on off of here. I was trying to see what some of the scriptures, yeah, that I could have read for you in this one. This one didn't have many scriptures in it, actually. But it still was a good read as well. So I will definitely come back home and you made it, sis. You made it, sis. I will stay on it for a few more minutes just for you because we gonna get this out. We gonna get this out. But again, I know you heard a lot of the some of the beginning, but it's called "Born." Are you born from more? Is the chapter that I'm in the book Prayer of Jabez for the Bible study that I've been studying on. But like I was saying, in this week the chapter what they said that you would discover in this is what territory means, why God wants you to have more of it, how other Bible characters enlarge their territory, and how God arranges divine encounters between you and others. What might be fencing you in on a small patch of opportunity, and how to break through to a larger life every day. And it's the question. The main question is: am I a boundary buster? It says many Christians aren't sure that they are called to be a strategic part of what God is doing in the world. In quiet moments of introspection, they wonder if maybe they were born bench warmers instead of boundary busters, right? A few know that God has called them to much more. If bench warmers became convinced that they were boundary busters, how would it change their lives? And so I did a little inventory. It's a section, the little inventory section here. It says take a fresh look at your behavior, and you can go through the questions with me either in here or either you can jot them down for your own personal use. But it says, take a fresh look at your behavior. Are you ready to step up for a larger life for God? Score yourself using this standard. And number 1 is no, not yet. 2 is rarely, if ever. 3 is sometimes. 4 is quite often. And 5 is just regularly. So if you got your notebook right there with you, go ahead and get your notebook. And I'll read the questions. Like I said, I didn't put them in the chat because I hopped in here on my phone. But it says, I feel restless to take on greater challenges for God. I feel restless to take on greater challenges for God. And I scored a 4 in that one, which is quite often. And then I'll go a little slow for the second question. And feel free to put your answers in the chat either now or when you finish. I ask God to enlarge the size and scope of my personal influence for Him. I ask God to enlarge the size and scope of my personal influence for Him. That's the second question. And then we have our third question is I watch out for potential areas where I might minister to others. Again, I watch out for potential areas where I might minister to others. And then the fourth question is I overcome my initial fears when faced with a new ministry opportunity. I overcome my initial fears when faced with a new ministry opportunity. And the fifth question is I am ready, or statement is I am ready to make significant personal sacrifices in order to touch this world for God. And the total values assigned to the 5 statements, if you scored 21 through 25, it means that you're eager to start to take new territory for God. 16 through 20, it says that you're checking out some travel brochures. 11 through 15, you're not opposed to a walk around the block. And 5 through 10, you need to get out more. And I'll show you my score again here. So my little notebook. I got 24, if you can see that. 24. So with me, I scored in that range of 21 through 25. It says you're eager to take new territory for God. And I was like, yeah, thank you so much for subscribing, Jackson. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And so, and I don't know how long you've been in here because you hadn't made a comment, but I hope you were able to get some of the questions, and I'll go back over them again really quickly before I hop off. I've tried to do this live like 2 or 3 times. Stephanie can tell you, she can vouch the WSFN channel. She can vouch for it because, yeah, like she said, she made it because, yeah, I had to keep popping in the first time. The microphone was I don't know what was going on with my microphone, and then I got on a second time, and yeah, the first time my microphone wasn't working, and then I tried to get back on again. I decided to get back on my phone so that any interruptions that I would have my phone right here because I also got to go run an errand real quick before I go get in the car line because I keep trying to remember to do everything before this weekend. But it says, like I said, my score was 24. You're eager to take on new territory. But one of the talking points for this section is, how could a person who is already feeling busy or overwhelmed enlarge his or her life for God? So feel free to put your chat your questions in the chat. Yeah, I see your laughing emojis, right. Um Again, how could a person who is already feeling busy or overwhelmed enlarge his or her life for God? And this is, does pursuing more influence or significance always mean doing more? So what do you think about that? Thank you, sis. Yeah, girl, I'm a fighter. I ain't gonna give up too easy. I ain't giving up too easy. I am. Your girl is a fighter, girl. I got to keep going, and I'm not doing it for me. It's like I'm doing it for him. So he's like, don't give up. And in that, actually, because I could have just said, you know what, just forget it. Everything getting in my way. I gotta go. Da da da. But I didn't. And actually, Stephanie, I can say that God put you there to help me too because you kept coming back, and I was like, yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta get back in there. I gotta get back on there. So I came in on my phone and then still try to get a couple calls try to come in. Thank you, Jackson. Couple calls tried to come in. I'm like, look, know what? They can wait. They can wait because this is, my lips kind of dry. This is something that I needed to get out. So like I said, I just went ahead and just got on my phone because the computer. I don't know what else was going on that computer, but yeah. Okay, yeah, but yeah, thank you so much. I don't know if I can do moderators and stuff yet because I ain't got quite the subscribers. So y'all help me get these subscribers up, lips kind of dry. I don't know if it's from yesterday or whatever. It's like my mouth has been really dry since after the I don't know if it got something to do with the anesthesia or whatever and stuff. And like even yesterday, because I came home. I had to be there at the hospital at like 5. Well, yeah, right before 5:30. We got there like 5:15, 5 o'clock, and they put me to sleep around about 7. Put me in La La Land because the procedure was at 7:30. And next thing I know, they waking me up. I'm like, everything's fine, everything's done. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Jackson. And I was like, okay. She was like, everything, you're woken up now. And so there I am. I was woken up, but and then they got this little patch thing that they got, all this new technology thing. They got this on there. I don't know if y'all could see it or not. Let me know if you could see it. But it's a little sticker, yeah, to help you with nausea. Cause I get real nauseated after anesthesia. And this is some patch that they can put on you and you can keep it on. Yeah, because outside. I'm actually not outside. That's what I said. I think I'm a little dehydrated or something from all of that because last time I went outside was this morning. It's like my mouth is really dry. So, but yeah, it probably is a little bit, but yeah, that's why I had to put on my chapstick. So, but yeah, so but yeah, so I don't know if it's because of that anesthesia and everything or what. Because I was a little dehydrated. So, but Like I say, I'm gonna thank y'all so much for coming back in, and feel free to answer those questions. Like I say, even for yourself or for your own notes. I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you all coming in. And like I said, I'm focusing on growing this channel. I get on here and I talk about the things that the Lord wants me to talk about, and I share what the Lord wants me to talk, what He wants me to share, and I go from there. But thank y'all so much for coming on here with me. I appreciate it. Stephanie, thank you for coming on both of them. I do appreciate that, all the love and support you guys that are that you're showing me and everything. I don't take it lightly. So, but yeah, I've been trying not to get drowned or swarmed up into the author expo, because that's my main focus right now, but it's not the only focus. And God gave me that to, of course, you know, to create. Yeah, a little sticker does a wall that. Yeah, right, exactly, a little sticker. I forgot what she called it. I had to look up the term, but she was like, "We're gonna put this little patch on you, um, to help you with the nausea, and you keep it on for 3 days." So today's the second day because they put it on the day of surgery. So tomorrow, after tomorrow, I gotta remove it. But yeah, that's it. A little bitty patch. Cause I forgot the name of it, but it's to help prevent the nausea from the medicine. But I'm not really in any pain afterwards. I noticed some little twinges or something, last night, but nothing serious. But I did go ahead and take me a pain Motrin. They gave me some 800 milligram Motrin. I did go ahead and take one of those just so that I wouldn't wake up. You too, Jackson. Have a good day, so that I wouldn't, wake up in pain. But with all that, I think I forgot. I remember plugging my cell phone up last night because it was, to keep it charged. But I must have restarted it or something because all my photos and stuff, and I couldn't upload nothing. But this morning, I had to take my grandkids to school this morning because my daughter had to work last night. So remember getting up a little bit, and I heard my grandson had the TV on in there, but I didn't think nothing about it 'cause he gets up early sometimes anyway. So I lay there for a little while. Thank you, Jackson. I lay there for a little. Oh yeah, I see you now, Stephanie. It's you. Thanks for helping in the comments too. And so I sat there I laid in the bed for a little while because my granddaughter came and got in the bed with me too, so she was still asleep. And then something said, "Girl, jump up." So I looked up and realized my phone wasn't. It was completely off. So I had my dog barking at people out there doing some work. And I don't know if y'all can hear him in the background or not, but his name is Comfort, of course. He has his own channel too. I gotta upload a little video I made with him, me and him standing up dancing. Matter of fact, I was dancing to Tia's song, Put It Word, and I'm gonna see how the video look, and I'll upload it on his channel, and then I'm gonna do something on mine too. But Boldly Unshackled. But yeah, so I'm about to lose my train of thought. So yeah, I got up and realized I'm like, okay, let me check and see what time it is, and it was literally 6:40, and they have to be to school no later than 7:30, and they don't ride the bus, so I had to hurry up and get up, get both of them ready, and they're in kindergarten and first grade, so they're little kids. But I had to hurry up and get them dressed, and everything. Which my daughter had to close out, but and do something to my granddaughter hair. Right now she wearing her little puff ball, but it's like, oh Lord, okay. But he made a way. I got there on time when I didn't warm the car up and everything. Right, thank you. Got out there and warmed up the car and everything, and so they made it to school on time. I got to go pick them up in a little bit. So, but yeah, and I was like, okay, Lord, it's all on you. But anyway, yeah, it had. I guess I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if that had me extra sleepy because I know when I came home. I ate a little bit, and I just kind of like sat in my room. But like I said, I didn't take any medicine until last night. But it's like I was still. Came home. Yeah, I came home, and I did take a little nap. I ate me some soup. No, I took a nap before I ate my soup because they told me not to eat nothing too heavy. So I laid around, took a little half a nap first, and then I got up and I ate my soup. I think that's how it went. Yeah, girl, my memory a little fuzzy, but so now I gotta speaking of the procedure, like I said, I gotta go back to my doctor in 2 weeks to get the results. And like I was sharing, it's my numbers for cervical cancer are they've been increasing over the past few years. So like I don't have, I'm not saying that I have cervical cancer, but the numbers of my cells, the abnormal cells, are increasing. So and how she explained it to me is that insurance or the medical board, however, um periodically they want you to do a biopsy and everything to make sure that it's not cancerous or anything or whatever, or if it is, you can catch it early. And she couldn't do the tools in the office, like I shared on the other video. Your body started going through changes. But anyway, so that's what I had to do yesterday. Just for the fact that they had to put me to sleep and all that stuff, it made it seem like actual surgery. And in a sense, it was, but it was a biopsy. So, but like I said, I'm here, just a little groggy. They got me doing this spirometer thing, which I ain't doing like I'm supposed to. Hey, Adrian, they got me doing this. LH. Okay, what are the letters for? I'm not understanding. But I have to do that breathing, and record my breathing. Yeah, I'm not sure what the L and the H is for, Adrian. But thank you, sis. I appreciate your prayers. I do. But yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna find out in a couple of weeks. And literally, like, all this happened to me, and I wasn't even gonna talk about my book, but for some reason God got me talking about it. It was my book. I had it all up here. A lot of things transpired in me after this relationship. A lot of things, yeah, transpired in me after this relationship. I was free and clear. I was free and clear, And when I came back home, went to my doctor, and she was, oh, this don't look right, that don't look right, or whatever, I'm like, well, I went for a checkup before, and doctor where I was at, before I came home, and other than some little, minor stuff, when you're being intimate with someone, but nothing serious, nothing. So, but once I came back home, went to my regular, gynecologist, and she tested me for everything, and and just made sure that I was okay. But in doing that, and doing the Pap smear and everything, she noticed that I have a lot of abnormal cells on my cervix. So she did the routine test in the office, but like I said, with age and your body started changing, she couldn't, kept trying to poke and prod, at me, and it was hurting. So she was like, yeah, I can't do this in the office. I'm going to have to set you up to do it at the hospital. So, and it just took a while because she told me this probably about a couple months ago. I want to say I went to her back in July, maybe, probably back in July. And then we were trying to get it scheduled, and then she didn't. She's very busy. I will say she's a good doctor, but she's a tight schedule. But um, and so she called. They literally called me Friday and was like, "We got a cancellation. Doctor Hunt can go ahead and do procedure, whatever." I'm like, oh, okay, but you're gonna. And yeah, I guess it's time for me to stop now because my mama calling. And so she probably wanna know why my dog barking. But so anyway, I'm gonna finish this up right quick, and then I'm gonna get on off of here. But and so anyway, like I said, long story short, I had the procedure done yesterday, and I'll get the results back in a couple of weeks. And y'all know I'm 100% transparent. I'll update you guys on the results and everything. I'm praying that it's nothing, that is not cancerous, and that the Lord has continued to keep me, and He kept me. Also, I shared on another video about the financial situation. God said yes, but thank you. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it. You can let me know. I don't know if you do Amazon Kindle or if you want an autograph copy, but yeah, go to Amazon Kindle. It's on there. A Rose Wrapped in Thorns. I was telling Echo about it a few weeks ago. It was a relationship that I got in after my divorce, and it was worse. It was 1,000 times worse. And normally I write poetry, and God was like, poetry ain't gonna do that justice. You got to write this out because it's gonna eventually, not eventually, but it's gonna help someone else on their journey. So I listened to him and I wrote it, and it's called A Rose Wrapped in Thorns. And but yeah, so this I actually have another poetry book coming out, but I will read a quick excerpt on here. Let me see what I'll read. All right, let's see. Okay, here it is. The devil is beating his wife. That's the chapter God gave it. And let me know if that chapter resonates with you, or if you know that saying, that term. But it says it was time for Nell to report in. He had to do this every week. We got up and started our day with him reporting in. I sat in the car while he went inside. About an hour later, he comes to the car, gets in, and says, I got to go back to jail. What? He said it again, and that he failed the breathalyzer. I was furious. Here we go back to McGee Street. That's where the county jail was found. I was becoming too familiar with this place. Here come the pep talks, or rather instructions on what to do. Make sure you take Felton out to use the bathroom. Don't let anybody near my dog. And handle yourself accordingly. He already accused me of the Waffle House guy. Most women would have done whatever they wanted to and moved on, but not me. I stayed in his corner. For some reason, I still had faith in him. Here I am, having to take care of this big white dog. I was still a little fearful of him, mostly of what would happen if he hurt someone. My days were so long. Every morning I woke up and got ready for work, and then I had to take Felton out to use the bathroom. I peeked outside to make sure no other dogs were out there. Felton was good with other dogs. Once that was over, I brought him back in and started my workday. I was tired of dashing all day, but I had to in order to pay for the room every day. They wanted their money every day since I wasn't paying weekly. Greenville wasn't fun at all, at least not for me. The next few months were spent working, taking care of my big white dog, and my man in jail. Again, I kept having conversations with God, but I'm a little hard headed. I'm just read this full page. I finally got some good news. I got a job. I landed a security position at a local children's hospital. Before I could begin working, I had to go through orientation and a physical and verify my immunizations. The orientation went really well. It lasted for a few days. I became SLED certified, South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. I was doing it big, granted with authority and following in my dad's footsteps. I was so excited to call home and tell my parents. My dad had done security for about 10 years or so before he retired again. Now we were waiting on my immunization records, which shouldn't take long because I've been vaccinated in South Carolina, so everything's already on file. I went to the local health department to get a copy and was told to come back and get it in 48 hours. I had to call the health department in Georgia, where I went to school, to get the other one. This took about a month, 4 long weeks. So what did I do? I continued to dash. But yeah, so that was a part of me. But that's just yeah, that ain't yeah. Obviously, that ain't the whole story. That's what chapter 3. Um, yeah, no, yeah, 3 or 4. But yeah, check it out on Amazon Kindle. It's on there. Definitely leave me a review. Let me know how you feel about the book. But I'm gonna hop on off of here now because my mom was calling my phone too. That's why I paused for a minute. But again, thank you so much for all your support. I appreciate everything, and I'm gonna hop on off of here and get ready to make one more stop before I go get these grandkids. All right, talk to y'all later.